Hey everyone, glad to see you again on our show. Thanks for coming back for another movie. We'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe if you like what we post. With your help, our channel can grow and our word can reach more people. We're going to talk about an important subject that many of you have been interested in today. I often get questions about narcissists, especially from people who have been hurt by being dumped by one. A lot of people wonder, did the narcissist ever really care about me? Did they ever see how valuable I was? Did they really like what I brought into their lives? These are common questions, especially when you think about how powerful and often dangerous narcissistic abuse is. It can feel like the narcissist doesn't care about your feelings or what you have to offer in this kind of relationship. But it's important to find out if they ever really liked you for who you were and what you had to give. I'm going to talk about how narcissists explain their values in this movie. It's important to know this because it will help you see how you fit into their world. I think this look into it will help answer a lot of your questions. Let's start. Many of you already know that being with a narcissist can feel like you're stuck in a bad relationship. This relationship isn't like most. It is often viral and only affects one side. You might be the host in this case, and the narcissist would be the parasite. They make you feel tired and empty because they take your energy. Lots of people call them energy vampires because they seem to drain your life with all their demands, fights, chaos, and confusion all the time. Now that we look at how narcissists decide what is valuable, it's clear that what can give them pleasure is what they value most. And this includes not only your mental support, but also any other things you bring into their lives. If a narcissist really cares about someone or something, they will work hard to keep that person or thing. It's possible that many of you watching this movie were considered grade A supply. This means that the narcissist saw you as important in their life. You could have been a close family member, friend, or even partner. If you were grade A supply, the narcissist probably looked to you every day for approval and care. They were always talking to you, and you often knew about the little things in their life. Because you were close to them, they saw you as important. A lot of people think that the narcissist really cares about them during the love bombing stage. But this is not what it seems to be. In fact, they are not really loving you during the love bombing stage. Instead, they are using you and getting to know you better. This needs to be made clear. The narcissist did not really see you for who you are. They picked you because you met their needs. It's the part of them that wants approval and control that sees your good traits, like how kind, patient, and compassionate you are. Narcissists often look at their targets very closely before they make their move. They take the time to get to know you and decide if you are worth the trouble of their original attention and charm. This planning is planned. They want to make sure that the love bombing phase will work before they put their effort into it. That being said, you should know that at this point, they don't value you as a person. Instead, they are making it easier for abuse and trickery to happen in the future. When people say nice things about you and tell you they love you, you might feel special and valued. It's possible to think that the narcissist thinks you're great because they show it by making big plans and saying nice things. It's important to know, though, that this behavior is not real love. They do this to get you to trust them more and give them more power over you. The narcissist really doesn't love you. They do what they do because they want to control you and manipulate you. You are likely to go through a phase called devaluation as the relationship goes on, and the original excitement wears off. When this happens, the narcissist starts to act very differently. There are different ways that devaluation can show up. For example, they might start to compare you negatively to people from their past in order to get information from you. This strategy is meant to make you feel bad about your own self-worth and unsafe. The narcissist may sometimes tell you complicated lies to make you doubt them. They might act in ways you don't expect, trying your limits and seeing how much you can handle. This changing trend happens a lot of the time when they need new supplies. Narcissists often reach a point of boredom after about 90 days, at which point they may look for new ways to feel good about themselves or find excitement. To keep things interesting for themselves, This could mean adding new people to their lives or making up trouble. What's important to think about is this progression. How could the narcissist devalue you if they really valued you during the love bombing stage? This is a clear sign that they weren't interested in what you were truly worth at first, but in what you could do for them. They were more interested in what you could do for them and how easy you were to control than in how valuable you were as a person. When you're in a relationship with a narcissist and they start to devalue you, it's clear that they want to see how much abuse you can handle. Narcissists use a variety of sneaky and manipulative methods to hurt your self-esteem and sense of worth, which can make this time especially hard. They could suddenly change how they act, like canceling date nights that used to be a normal thing in your life. This change can be scary and make you feel confused because it seems to come out of nowhere. Another popular strategy is not showing affection. Experiencing a sudden lack of warmth can be shocking if you were used to getting loving touches and care. All of these things are done by a narcissist to make you feel less important and take back control of the relationship. They want to test how much mental pain you can handle before you fight back or think about leaving. If you're not sure if a narcissist ever really cared about you, here are some important things to keep in mind. An egotistical person will usually not value you until you are gone from their life. They find it hard to accept this fact, but it shows that they can see the real value in others while they are present. They often care more about what you can do for them than how much they value you as a person. It's also important to know that a narcissist can't value someone they don't respect. This is an important part of their nature. If you let them treat you badly, they might think you don't respect yourself because you put up with it. This makes their need for power and control stronger. During the devaluation stage, a lot of people are thrown away or ghosted, and they are often left without any closure. You may have gone back to them more than once, hoping that things would change or end. What a narcissist really does is not value what they do not respect. Their lack of respect is often caused by their own egos. Anyone else will be hard for them to value if they don't value themselves first. You might feel unworthy and confused after this situation, because it can lead to a circle of emotional abuse and hurt. It's hard to say if a narcissist ever cared about you or not. It's possible that they noticed some of the qualities you offered, but they won't appreciate them until those qualities are gone. A saying goes, you never miss your water until the well runs dry. This is exactly how a narcissist thinks. Most of the time, they don't realize how much they value what you bring to the relationship until it's over. And even then, it's not about who you are as a person. Instead, they pay attention to the supply and material rewards you gave them. Their deep-seated problems show up in this trend. It's hard for people to make real relationships with people who are insecure, parasitic, and don't love themselves. Their problems with self-esteem make it hard for them to respect and honor other people. Let's be clear, a lot of narcissists don't really connect with God. The fact that they are a minister or missionary doesn't mean they are real. Their spiritual status doesn't prove it. Individuals who are narcissists can have many different traits and experiences, but they can't love others deeply if they don't have a real relationship with God. The Most High is love, and they can't learn how to love right if they don't have a real relationship with Him. In this kind of friendship, people can receive love, which they can then give to others. If you've recently broken up with a narcissist, you may feel like you've lost something, or that your life is empty. It can be hard to understand this feeling, especially if you don't want to go back to the relationship. It is important to know that when you spend time apart, a narcissist will often start to see how valuable you were to them. They didn't respect you for who you really are during the whole relationship, from the first love bombing to the later devaluing. Sadly, this is a trend that narcissists often follow. They often don't see the good things that are right in front of them, because they are too focused on themselves and cut off. When you were with a narcissist, they couldn't see how kind, generous, loving, and caring you were. Their inability to see your good traits is a sign of their own flaws, not yours. They only thought about what they wanted and needed, so they missed the deep link that was there for them. After you have gone your different ways, It is important to know what is going on with the narcissist. This is true whether you were discarded, reverse discarded, or chose to cut ties with them. When you're not around, they might start to think about the connection. They might think about the traits you gave them, and think about how they act. But just because they realize this doesn't mean they have changed or learned more about love. Please understand that I do not think you should let them back into your life. They might start to see how great you were. But that doesn't mean they'll change the bad things they did in the past. They might think that your return means that their tricks worked, and that they have power over you again if you let them back in. Also, a lot of narcissists think that what you did and how you treated them were directly caused by how they acted and manipulated you. They can't see the bigger picture, so they think that your love and care are because of how they make them feel. This false idea is very different from the truth. They could always see how honest and loving you were, but they couldn't value it while the relationship was going on. The narcissist was able to mirror your feelings and actions, which is why you treated them the way you did. For the first few times, they put on a very attractive show, acting charming and kind while love-bombing to give the impression of closeness. They were trying to earn your trust and make you think they cared about you by acting this way. Naturally, if someone treats you well, you'll probably treat them nicely and with love in return. It's important to know that your love and kindness toward them weren't caused by their bad behavior or trickery. Narcissists often believe this false belief, which is very important. This person may think that your loving nature is just a result of how they affected you, but that is not at all the case. Your kindness and care came from being who you are, not because of what they did. From now on, time will be very important since you are no longer together. This is when the narcissist might start to see your real qualities, and as a result, your worth and value. They may start to think about how you made their life better, and the good things you brought into it. But it's important to keep your hopes in check when it comes to being recognized for this realization. Narcissists are known for lying and being stubborn. Don't expect them to tell you out loud how much they understand or appreciate you now. Some people may say what's on their minds at some point, but it's not a good idea to wait for them to confirm your feelings. They probably won't really say they're sorry for what they did, or how much pain they caused you. Instead, they are often waking because of their own flaws, and the void they feel without you. As they think about your absence, they might realize how your presence made their life better. Now they know how much you made their lives better, by making them happy and comfortable. That being said, they should think that it's too late for them to get back what they lost. They had many chances to love and respect you by telling them over and over again how much you loved and supported them. That part of the story is now over. They won't truly change when they become aware of your qualities, even if they start to see them in themselves. Narcissists are often highly troubled people at their core. When they notice the good things about you, it could be because they feel like something is missing in their own life. They might not be getting as much love, support, or praise from family, friends, or new sources of supply. This silence makes them think about what they have lost, because it is so different from how happy they were when they were with you. None of you need to keep friends with a narcissist. If you have kids together, that's the only time I might make an exception. In these situations, it may be important to keep up a certain level of communication in order to parent together. There is no reason to keep a narcissist in your life, though, unless they are involved with something important. There are times when things get more difficult when you have narcissistic family or friends. When you're with a narcissist as a family member or friend, the lines can get blurry and cause confusion. Still, it's best to end any personal relationships with narcissists. The dynamics of a romantic relationship are different, and it's usually not realistic or good to stay friends after a relationship. Some people might say that you can be friends with a narcissist after dating them, but I don't think this tends to work out. It is said to be hard to stay friends with someone who used to be your love partner. This is especially true if that person is a narcissist. Carrying around mental baggage and memories from the past can make it hard to make real friends. If you feel empty, hurt, or pain after breaking up with a narcissist, Remember that every day apart tells them something important about who you are. There is some truth to the saying absence makes the heart grow fonder here. The narcissist will remember what they are missing when you stay quiet and far away. I recently read a message in which someone complained about how frustrated they were with feeling lost after not talking to anyone for a while. This feeling makes sense, especially for people who are still dealing with the effects of a relationship with a narcissist. But it's important to remember that the no-contact rule is not a game. Instead of trying to control you like a narcissist might, you've decided to stay away from them because you want your own mental and emotional health. No contact is a strong way to get your life and sanity back. Taking back your power and separating yourself from the emotional turmoil that often comes with being around selfish people are the goals. If you decide to stay away from someone, you're admitting that their words and feelings have not been returned. Because you know that talking to them again probably won't help. You've decided to put your mental health first. Someone I talked to marks the anniversary of their discard or reverse discard every year, which I thought was interesting. This person turned a day that could have been painful into a day of strength and thought. Instead of being sad that the relationship is over, they choose to enjoy their freedom and the good things about themselves. This big change in point of view gives them back control of their story and lets them enjoy the path to healing. While I'm not saying everyone should have a big party, accepting the end of a bad relationship can be a powerful and freeing experience. Recognizing the strength to leave a bad situation and the growth that comes from it is what it's all about. On this day, you might just want to take a moment to think about how far you've come and what you've learned. There's no reason not to feel a deep sense of loss when your relationship with a narcissist stops. The number of days since the breakup may be important to many of you. You may be thinking, oh, it's been a month, or you may be marking important dates like birthdays or anniversaries. I want to say that I understand that these times can be very painful. They remind you of what you've lost and the mental turmoil you're going through right now because the relationship is over. People often get stuck on how much time has passed. Since the breakup, you might keep track of the days, weeks, or months that have passed all the time. This can make you sad and think about your pain every day, which can turn into a circle of sadness and thought. But it might help to change your point of view. Don't see this as the end of something. Instead, see it as the start of something new. If you think about it this way, you can start to accept that you are starting a new part of your life without the narcissist. With this method, you can focus on your own healing and growth while knowing that you are moving in a good way. You are taking back control of your life now that the relationship is over. Narcissists, on the other hand, often think about things in a different way. After some time has passed, they may start to miss having you in their lives. People may not have been aware of the traits you brought to the relationship because they were feeling this way. This awareness is a delayed part of their learning process, so it's important to know that. The next year, when the anniversary of your breakup or other important dates come around, you might not feel as down. You can instead talk to them with a sense of power. You shouldn't enjoy the narcissist's problems or pain. Instead, you should be glad that they are finally starting to see how valuable you are. This acknowledgement is proof of your value and what you brought to the connection. It's important to remember, though, that this greater awareness isn't reason enough to let them back into your life. They might start to understand how you changed them, but who they are at their core stays the same. A lot of the time, narcissists are highly troubled people who have behavior patterns that are hard to change. No matter how much they say they're sorry or aware, that doesn't mean they can change or become better people. No matter how attractive or nice these narcissists seem on the outside, they often have disturbing traits. They might get pleasure from other people's pain and lack the empathy that makes real human relationship possible. This huge difference between how they behaved and how kind you were shows how different you really are. You have a real soul that can love and care for others, but they only care about themselves and manipulating others. It is important to know that narcissists may finally realize how much you miss them, but they probably won't say it out loud. A lot of people will say they don't feel any loss or sorrow, usually because they are stubborn or proud. They may refuse to say that they miss you, or that your absence affects them. This denial is a way for them to protect themselves from being vulnerable and the pain of being honest about their feelings. After ending a relationship with a narcissist, many of you will go through similar things. As time goes on, you may notice that the mental turmoil you felt at first starts to change. But it's important to make it clear that time doesn't heal hurts by itself. If someone tells you that waiting will make things better, they are wrong. I think that our mind, soul, spirit, and heart learn to adapt to the things that happen in our lives. We learn how to deal with our feelings and move on over time, but this is not the same thing as healing. How you learn to love yourself during this process is what really counts. Different people may understand this more quickly than others, but healing is not a sports event. Even if someone has had similar experiences with a narcissist, their story is still unique. It's important for everyone in our supportive group to remember that we are all on our own unique paths to recovery. Because you are moving forward, you will start to understand your worth more deeply. Realizing this is a very important part of your mending process. While you were with the narcissist, they may have put you down and made you feel like you were not worth anything. You may have been through painful things, like being thrown away in a mean way. You will start to see the worth in yourself that the narcissist tried to take away over time, though. Not knowing what you're worth doesn't happen overnight. Some people don't fully understand how valuable they are for weeks, months, or even years. This path is usually slow and needs patience. You might not feel sad about giving your all to someone who didn't deserve it, as much as you did when you think about your old relationship. Instead, you'll know that the energy you put in was real and came from a place of love and kindness. You can't be beat when you're full of love and good vibes. Narcissists may try to trick and control you, but in the end, they're just cheating themselves. They are the ones who lose when you decide to move on from them. The narcissist feels like a loser because they lost someone who really cared about them, even if you were the one who was thrown out. It is important to really know what you're worth and work on becoming more self-aware and confident in yourself. You should not compare yourself to other people, even those you see in movies, books, or on social media. Everyone is different, and comparing yourself to others will only make you feel bad about your own worth. Instead, accept and enjoy the unique person God made you to be. You are a unique person with your own traits, skills, and life events. Enjoy what makes you different, and be thankful for the person you are. Acknowledging that you are unique can help you heal in strong ways. Realizing that the things you've been through are not lost is important. It's important to know that you have put good energy into the world. You give off a bright light that helps the world around you as an empath, a chosen one, or a true soul. That which makes you special is this light. This light was what a narcissist gave you back when you were around them. You might have thought they were real because of their charm and allure, which made you think they had the same light inside them. It is important to know, though, that this was all a trick. The narcissist couldn't handle the light you brought into their life. Instead, they were just reflecting it to get your attention. Because you are empaths and chosen ones, a lot of you have been lied to or tricked by narcissists. Even though it hurts, it's important to remember that the ego will lose in the end. Of course, they lost you, which is a big deal for them. Losing someone as deep and real as you is the worst thing that can happen to an ego. It is important to understand that they probably won't find someone else like you ever again. They might look for new sources of supply and try to move on, but they won't be able to find another link like the one you shared. People often miss this link, but it is very important. You showed them a level of understanding and mental support that they will have a hard time finding anywhere else. They will not meet someone as good or important as you, even if they look for love elsewhere. Keep this important fact in mind. They'll never find someone else like you. Realizing this is important for rebuilding your self-worth and seeing how valuable you are. Your worth comes from within, not from how other people see or treat you. The narcissist will need time to think about how to live without you while they are ruminating. This may be a surprise to them, But it is an important part of their trip. Because of the end of your relationship, they could start to understand how valuable you were to them. It's important to remember, though, that they can't win back your trust or love now. Decide that you will not give them any more chances, even if you have already given them some.